Well, tomorrow, after we leave the air, we're going to leave early tomorrow. We get off the island a little bit early because the so-called Fab Five will be gathering, including our three guests and Mayor Dave Bing of the city of Detroit and Conan Smith, the chairman of the Washtenaw County Board of Commissioners. They've expanded the session to include 5 people now, which has gone over big with the other 3 members. The county execs who join me now: Mark Hackel from Macomb County, good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Bob Ficano from Wayne County.
Glad to be here, Frank.
And especially Brooks Patterson of Oakland County. You love this idea of having 5 of you here doing this now, don't you? I saw your quote yesterday. I'm going up to the island in a bad mood.
Well, it's just that
it's a buzzkill.
You took the program from 90 minutes, which has been since inception over the last 19 years I've been here. You crammed it down to 60 minutes, and then you add another member. It's going to be crowded on that dais.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I think.
But well, you guys are the terrific trio. How's that?
I think no one's going to be impacted as me. They're still going to get their time.
Well, next year it'll be the Sexy Six, and then
Sensational 7,
yeah.
And we'll do it all in a half
the whiny
hour.
9.
All right, so you're you and Bob Ficano were the seniors here, Brooks.
Mm-hmm. He's definitely more senior than I am, though.
Few years head start up.
What do you make of what's going on with the governor? There seems to be a lot of kumbaya being sung up here with labor getting together with business and the legislature. The only people not joining arms are in the Maroon family right now.
Yeah, well, I think this really is a Snyder show this week, and he kicked it off with the opening speech. He's really riding high from getting his budget done in less than 5 months, something that hadn't been done in, 40 years. And I heard him say yesterday at the news conference, within 30 days he's going to solve the bridge issue. And he gave himself a very narrow window to perform. And if he gets that done, then I want him to take on global warming next.
Bob Ficano?
I think he is moving the ball. I mean, I think people were really skeptical when they said he was going to get the budget done before May 31st. He came in 5 days early. I saw a clock. I think it was 5 days and 12 hours or something early. And I think the logic is on the side of building the new bridge. I mean, when you look at what Canada's doing, you see the with Halifax and the port of what they're setting up, the Port of Montreal, what the Canadian government has said, and they've put their money where their mouth is. I mean, they've said, look, we're going to give you $500 million to build the bridge where we think it should go. So I think the odds are really starting to stack up with them. The other thing I really liked about the conference was Bob King coming in. It's much harder to hate somebody when you see they don't have horns on, and that they're cooperative. And I think sometimes.
But he's also, you said an interesting word there, cooperative, because I noticed yesterday gone was the criticism of profits.
Well, if you look at it, look at his history.
Calming down a little bit.
Well, no. When Ford Motor Company needed to really have the negotiations go in their direction in 2007 and 2009, he was the lead negotiator.
Sure.
And he brought those concessions, and he was able to sell the membership. In fact, he did it one other time. Where the membership rejected it, and that's right when he was about to run for the presidency of the UAW. So Bob King has the ability to know what's practical and what he needs to do to make sure those companies stay competitive, and that's what I like about it. It is a new era. It's not confrontational. He wants to be work in collaboration and say we can be partners and we can be competitive.
Okay, just between us guys. Who took him aside and said, "You got to cool it on this"? Come on.
He came to his own conclusions.
I did,
that.
Frank. I did.
Yeah.
All right, Mark Hackel. How will the bridge, whichever one is built, how does it help you? I mean, you're actually geographically probably closer to the blue water.
Jobs and growth, no question about it. I mean, you talk about the number of people that are going to come in to help build that bridge, and it's going to be sustained for quite some time. Macomb County has been a benefactor of this downturn in the economy. 53,000 people moved to Macomb County, and I think there's a reason why. But it's not just the economic development. I think it's community development that goes on in Macomb County. We're going to see, as a result of this new bridge coming in, some tremendous opportunities. And let's face it, I mean, the transportation opportunities across that bridge, we're poised to have some great things happen here in the Detroit region. It has to happen. It's going to happen. The Maroon family have been great business people for the state, for the region. I think there's a potential for them to join in on this as people that might be able to bid on the management aspect of it. I think it needs to start happening, and I give the governor a lot of credit. I mean, he's a guy that's business-minded. He's focused on it. A lot of controversy, a lot of conflict. Right now, we're at a time where we've got to start making some very tough decisions in a quick or I guess fashion, and he's not mincing words. He's actually making it happen, and I give him a lot of credit for it, even though there's some controversy and
Frank,
conflict.
he's been clever about it. I mean, he took the $500 million from the Canadian government and say, let's match it also for the roads,
Right.
that affects the whole state. He said, okay, if you're having trouble with MDOT and the legislature, you know what, we're going to have a business entity, the commission authority that's going to be set up, and 5 from Canada, 5 from the United States. So he's been clever in the way that he has set it up to keep knocking down the roadblocks that people keep putting in front of him about it.
And the labor that supports it. I mean, there's a lot of labor organizations that are supporting this. They want it to happen. They're trying to push forward, and I think because they realize too, it's going to create jobs.
Is this the difference in having a businessman running things, somebody who really understands business?
I think so, clearly. I mean, he's making business decisions, with all due respect, that have not been made in the state for 8 years.
Bob Ficano, I see a smile on your face, but I don't.
I'm just trying to pick a fight here.
I was thinking maybe longer.
Hey, he's been studying too.
Yeah.
This Hackel guy over here.
Yeah.
He's going to be the mediator tomorrow.
No, I think you have to give him credit. He is moving the ball quickly, and he's moving in a direction that he thinks is going to help the state. And, the proof's going to be in the pudding. Eventually is the climate. And I know Brooks isn't going to give credit, but you have to also say on the federal level, things are starting to move. With what's happening, what we're seeing with the national...
The federal debt is moving. That's
moving the other way, actually.
It's nationally moving in a direction where you're seeing, more, the unemployment's coming down, you're seeing more jobs, you're seeing things that are starting to happen.
Housing prices are coming down again.
It's 4%.
And General Motors, Chrysler, and Ford are all doing great. I mean, part of that was all of a, national commitment that we've seen happen. So it's all moving in the right direction. I'm feeling good about the state.
Are you feeling good about the state?
I am.
Brooks?
I feel good about the state. I mean, we've got a long way to go. I mean, we were in the hole so deep that we're not even beginning to climb out of it. We're working our way toward the light. But
Are we climbing out because Bob Ficano is very subtle about these things, but I sense that he's crediting President Obama for our turnaround in Michigan. Am I wrong?
Oh, yeah. No, he deserves a lot of credit for the turnout, starting with the auto industry. If he wouldn't have been bold enough to step in and say, I'm going to save Chrysler and I'm going to save General Motors, the landscape today would have been completely
Bush
different.
made the first multi-billion-dollar loan to the
Frank's
auto
over
industry.
here laughing. He's kind of stirring.
Well, he knows. I'm going to go.
He's stirring.
Frank, I have a number that I'm going to shock you with. If the federal government spent no more money, not a dime, not a nickel, and put $100 million a day toward payment on the national debt, you know how long it would take to pay off that debt? 391 years. So don't worry about.
You can do the math. That's absolutely true.
Don't worry about burdening your grandkids. You burden generations we haven't even thought.
Okay, but the question was, are we better off? And was the president instrumental in helping that? And I really believe that he is. And he has.
This president's created more debt in his 2 years than the debt created between Washington and Reagan. Now that you got to be proud of that guy.
And you can look at it, and we can go back through history, and you can see President Reagan, and you can see how he had a history of spending, probably proportionally as much as what you see the spending going on right now.
Frank Conan doesn't stand a chance.
Conan Smith, the new kid on the block
He's going to be
tomorrow.
lucky if he gets 2 minutes.
We love talking presidential politics. What do you think?
God bless you guys. Great to have you on the show. Have fun
Ray.
tomorrow. Can't wait to.
Go ahead.
Can't wait to see Mayor Bing and Conan try to get a few words in.
We got more in today than we'll get in tomorrow.
Good to see you guys.
Thanks,
you.
and thanks for all that WJR does in yourself. Frank. We appreciate it.
You don't even have to mention that.
Kiss. Suck up.
Look, what is this about out here this week? I mean, we're all singing Kumbaya. Oh, you got everybody joining arms. State Senator Bert Johnson is here, the campaign chair.